Hello, friends. Welcome to Community Keynotes. My name is Melissa Majors. I am so blessed to be the creator of this show, but I'm just as blessed to work with the talented gentleman you see on the screen there, the Amani Roberts. Hello, Amani.
Hello, happy Monday. How are we doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Hey, we are on our season finale for season 2. Can you believe it? How are you feeling about it all?
I feel great. I feel proud. Congrats for a successful season 2. We just keep cruising right along.
Absolutely. I got to tell you, our speaker today and her message takes me back. I don't know that I ever told you, but a few years back, I had the honor of meeting Ron Hall and Denver Moore. They are the authors of a book called Same Kind of Difference as Me. It's been created into a movie as well. It's an incredible story. But anyway, these two gentlemen come from completely different worlds. Ron Hall is a super wealthy art dealer, and Denver Moore was a homeless man on the streets of Fort Worth, Texas. Well, anyway, they connected on a human level. And as a result of their relationship, they made a profound impact on the homeless community in Fort Worth, Texas, and far beyond. But isn't it interesting, though, Amani, that so often we meet people who are different from us and we don't even bother trying to build a relationship, right? We assume, oh, we won't have anything in common, why bother? And we miss out on these incredible, remarkable relationships that we can have with people. And so our speaker today, Joanna Smith, has such an incredible message for us about connecting and healing the divide, connecting with people who are very different from us. And she has some really great examples of how we all can do that. And so viewers, you are in for a treat. So no matter where you're watching, I would love for you to put your fingers to your keyboard and help me welcome to the Community Keynote stage, Joanna Smith.
It was a wonderful evening out in Stuttgart, Germany. The weather was warm, and 8 engineering interns and I were asked to come over, being handpicked, by the way, from different schools around the nation. And we were asked to be interns with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers European District. We were so excited to be there. However, at this moment, we were extremely nervous. Why? Because we were asked to have dinner with the 4-star general, General Kip Ward, who is also the commander of AFRICOM and also the special assistant to the chief of staff of the U.S. Army. Oh my goodness. What do we say to this man? His house sat on this large hill that had this colossal effect, had about 20 different rooms and a basement big enough to have a wine cellar in there. Now it's dinner time, and we are all around trying to figure out what we should really talk to General Kip Ward and his wife about. And very quickly, I spotted something staring at me in the corner. It was shiny and black. It was a grand piano. And so we entered the staring contest, and I stared back, and the piano was kind of speaking to me, saying, "Hey, you should ask if you can play me." And so I said, "Hey, can I play that?" And General Kip Ward said, "Sure." And his wife nodded. And so this is the song I played, Spanish Dance in the key of A minor. And so after I finished that song, it was almost as if the music had literally kicked intimidation out of the door. We are all on one accord. It was a harmonious movement together. And I tell you, music really was a space or an object that held the peace in that location and continued to connect us together, from 4-star general to interns at the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Hi, my name is Joanna Smith. I am a pianist. I am also a vocalist, a geotechnical engineer, a scuba diver, and an entrepreneur, a founder of the Miriam Daly Smith Music School of Music and STEM. And I enjoy speaking about healing the divide between music and math in different areas of the world through this medium of this universal language. Now, you may be asking, how can we speak math in different spaces of the world? How can we understand it? Well, I guarantee you that I can show you how. So let's try. If you can just find your fingers wherever they are, put them in front of you. And I'm going to count from 1 to 10 in German, and you'll follow along. I'll prove it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See, you were able to follow along simply by the words and also by the use of my hands. I told you. So if we want to look at the mathematical aspects of keys as well, you can see how music and math come together. So if you look at the piano really quickly, you'll see that there are 2 black keys. There are 3 black keys. There are 2 black keys, 3 black keys, 2 black keys, 3 black keys, right? And so it follows this beautiful pattern of 2, 3, 2, 3. So we see that music can also be linked to numbers. Now, it works the same way for music as a universal language. So if I was to play this song anywhere in the world, I guarantee you'll figure out what it does. It is Für Elise by Beethoven. And so we see that we are able to connect with that music simply because of how it sounds. It is something that you're able to connect with somebody all over the world on. And I guarantee you, once again, that this is a universal language that can be used to heal any divide. So the question is, division. Why do we have it? Is it because we might look different from someone else? Is it because of our job status? Is it because of our neighborhoods from where we come? Is it because we aren't sure of who that individual is? I guarantee you, you want to try healing any divide or connecting people or yourself, anyone from different spaces around the world. Use music, use math. They are interchangeable. I have a quick story for you. So it was a wonderful evening. I was not in Germany this time. I was actually in New York. Right by my job, there is a building, very large, almost like the General's house, but a little bit larger, right? About 75 stories high, and this large atrium where there are different people checking you in, and also the space where people from all over the world work, right? And so there's a piano that's often put in there every end of the month for a week. And on my way from work, I said, let me just sit down and play something. And I literally began to get lost in the music, I guarantee you. I was playing and playing. And little did I know that people were literally lining up behind me. And as I finished, there was a round of applause. About 8 people were literally just watching. And I was just so humbled by this experience. However, they left a little later because I was lost in my music, right? It was for me and I guess for them as well. But I kept playing. And this wonderful young man, Nathan, just continued to stand by. And he waited until I was done. And then he came over to me and he said, "Hi, my name is Nathan." And so it was, that is literally how we connected, over music, right? And as we continued to talk, Nathan told me he had gone to Japan and he was also an architect. Who would have ever thought, right? Music and math and how they literally come together. And so as we continue to, speak a little bit more, I told him I was a geotechnical engineer. And immediately he knew what an alluvial soil was, which is very soft type of soil that you really don't want to get into as a geotechnical engineer, because that means that you're going to have to run your pile or your foundation system to bedrock, something very hard. We'll talk a little about that later. But it was exciting that we were able to connect on something that was such a niche over something so general and universal, right? And I think that was just such an amazing experience for me, not only here, but also in Germany, and to see how that experience was able to interconnect again. As I continued to explore my friendship with Nathan, I recognized that we were so similar. We both shared similar beliefs. We also were vigorous at exercising, and we also enjoyed music, and we pretty much shared the same diet. I believe we're Presbyterian as well. And Nathan was so sweet. On his space or his journey in Japan, he brought me back these beautiful bracelets that are actually made out of piano string. And I guarantee you, from our social space and our time together, we were able to really connect. And you know how much we connected, that I am in Nathan's space right now here at the Old Can Factory. It's just an amazing experience to have. Ways that we can connect with different people around the world who may not look like us or who may be different than us in some ways, shapes, or forms, but we are also very similar in the same ways. Now, I've proven to you that music is a universal language and that math is a universal language, something that can connect us all the way from Germany and from Brooklyn, New York, and from people from all over the world. What are you going to do now to continue to create the same space? I believe in this so much that I've created a school, the Daley Smith Music School, that will connect people from different spaces in the world through music and math. I am so happy that I have this opportunity. I'm so happy that you all have been able to be a part of this with me. And thank you so much. And remember, heal the divide through music and math. Be able to connect with people from all over the world with different instruments through music and math. And so I'm going to leave this beautiful song with you. Thank you.
Oh, I am so proud of you. Wonderful job, Joanna. Thank you for that beautiful song. And thank you for sharing your beautiful spirit and wisdom with all of us. Wonderful job. And at this point now, I know those of you who are watching are just thrilled by what you've seen. Please make sure that you thank Joanna and provide some comments in the chat field from wherever you're watching. But also, we want to do our part and not just be entertained by this message. We want to take action. And we want to help fund Joanna's school, the Daley Smith School, to help connect underrepresented children to arts and music and math, and hopefully even to the discipline of engineering like Joanna. So at this time, we'd like to launch the fundraiser. It's really easy for you to give to the cause. We have a couple of different ways that you can give. And so if we can just pull up the slide on the screen, there's a number there where you can text your gift to CK2020 at 202-858-1233. You can scan the QR code that's on the screen, and it'll take you to a site that's really easy to give. Or you can go to givebutter.com/community keynotes and help contribute to this incredible cause. Now, that's not the only way that you can give. You can not only wear Joanna's message in your heart, you can wear it on your sleeve too. And 10% of the proceeds will go to the Daley Smith Inc. STEM Academy. We have a whole collection of merchandise that has been inspired by Joanna's story about healing the divide. And so make sure you go to storystore.us. That's storystore.us to check out the merchandise, contribute to a cause, and wear some inspiration on your sleeve as well. And so with that, I would love to now transition over to the interview segment. But before we do, you're getting to see a shot of the beautiful architecture in the old can factory. So let's just take a moment to look at the beauty in the room and the space. Isn't that lovely? Joanna, wonderful job. Hello there. Now listen, the Nathan that you referenced in your story, I know he's in the space with you as well. Can we get a shot of Nathan? Nathan, where are you? We just want to say thank you. There he is. Hello, Nathan. Thank you so much for everything you did to help create this incredible show today. Thank you.
My honor.
All right, Joanna, I'll turn it over to Amani. We want to pepper you with questions now and learn more about your story.
Yes, we want to learn all about you. Tremendous job, by the way. Thank you very much, Joanna. The first question is really, how long have you been playing the piano and how important is it to your creative process?
I love that. I've been playing the piano since I was 4. I'm 30 now. I know you can't tell, right? So it's been, a long journey. I'm very excited that I've been a part of this journey for such a long time. My piano teacher was very rough, not as nice as I am with my students. However, it has definitely taught me a lot of discipline. To be able to read, the sheet music sometimes can be a little challenging because it requires a lot of patience. Also, to make up your own music requires some patience with yourself as well. This has been a part of my journey for literally 25 years, simply because I have been doing a lot of work through music, a lot of leading worship sessions or creating sets of music for different events and programs that we do have throughout my entire life. So this is something that I carry with me. I remember being at school or through Morgan State and Johns Hopkins University, the way I would really de-stress is going into the Murphy Fine Arts Center and just playing for hours. And it was definitely an outlet for me. And I'm really excited that it's becoming an outlet for many other people as well. Not only for you, but also for other people around the world to connect.
Amazing. Morgan State University, HBCU pride. I love it. Howard University right here. But I digress. Right. How has math changed your life?
Math has changed my life since the age of 7. My father used to bring my sister and I to the office sometimes, and the way he would keep us quiet was not with coloring books. It was with math problems, right? And so integrating the math with the discipline once again, because you have to do a lot of remembering of numbers. I remember my dad always would tell me when I was really young, and this is why trajectory is so important. I remember him saying, you will be writing pages of math problems when you get older. And I'm like, what's wrong with my dad? Why would he even say that? And when I went to school, or Morgan State and Johns Hopkins, and I was doing all of these differential equations and linear algebra, calculus 1, 2, 3, I was like, wow, it's almost like my dad spoke this into my life. And so the mathematical aspect of things has been something that has been able to help me create. I love working with my hands. So I like to do a lot of carpentry type projects. I also like to work with different type of engineering programs. And a lot of that is on like a coordinate-based system. So, if you need to move something over to the right, or kind of show that, say, a beam or something of some sort needs to be elongated or something like that in a program, we're often using like an XYZ coordinate, right? Almost like a point system, which is actually pretty cool, because if you are a musician or you want to get into music, when you start looking at major and minor scales and a circle of fifths, it's also divided into quadrants. Coordinate system again.
Yes.
So I love to kind of see how music and math work together and integrate, because it's not a separate entity all the time by itself. It can be used for programming, and it can be used for practical aspects of things as well that you put together in your home. And it also can be used within the musical realm of things.
Yeah, great. Circle of fifths, C to G, then we go from G to somewhere else. So yeah, I love it. Yes, I don't want to get it wrong, but I got to look at my piano to do that.
All right.
How has music changed your life?
Music has changed my life, and that has also helped me to meet different people from all over the world, and from different statuses as well, right? So I'm here with these amazing filmmakers who have done huge projects, some of which I remember they spoke with me about doing a project on top of the Brooklyn Bridge and actually climbing up that that bridge and having to get approved by different people and so on and so forth. So, I think that it really allows you to meet, at least for me, different people from different spaces of the world. I've been able to play for General Kip Ward, also Robin Kemper, who was one of the presidents of the American Society of Civil Engineers, at her welcome party. And that changed the ambiance completely, in that so many people were able to sing and dance, and they're like, oh, let's play a Beatles song. And, oh, let's work through, maybe Jesus Loves Me This I Know, or some song that we used to sing when we were little and used to go to church. So it has been an exciting experience, and one that I think is unforgettable. We will always remember that time together as a group from American Society of Civil Engineers, because of that, the element of music and piano, and really being able to kind of call forth the great childhood memories that people have had through music, and being able to connect, like, even if you don't play anymore, it's like, oh yeah, I remember we used to play CDFG together, or, something even as basic as that, but it's something that we can all connect on, because the sound, if it's C or A, which would be like 440 hertz, you can hear that, and you know what that is in Austria, in America, in South Africa, in Asia, Egypt, whatever it is. So it's really exciting to recognize the power and the kind of universal language that music has, and how it's able to integrate across different spectrums.
Can I jump in? I just have to say, Joanna, music has connected you to so many different people from different experiences and backgrounds in the world. But on behalf of everyone who's watching, on behalf of all the kids in your school, you're cascading that and equipping other people to connect the way that you have. So thank you for not just keeping that to yourself, but sharing that inspiration with everyone. You truly are an inspiration. And I am claiming it someday. Joanna Smith is going to be a household name.
There we go. You mentioned creativity. What is your definition of creativity?
Got me over here with Webster's Dictionary, right?
Well, no, not Webster's. We want Joanna's definition.
Or the Joanna Dictionary today, right? I would say creativity, it almost operates as a spirit. in the sense that it allows one to move from the imagination into a process that is practical. So if I thought about going to the moon, yes, that was something I imagined. But then the creative process, at least for me now, would be drawing that out, right? And after I've drawn it out, then I start putting dimensions to it. And after I put dimensions to that, then I say, okay, well, what materials can I use that won't get swallowed up by the atmosphere as it is, translating this object from here to to the moon or outside of Earth, rather. And so then I get those materials together. And after I've gotten those materials together, I put everything together, and then I start thinking about the how to make it work elements. And maybe I bring on an electrical or another team on power and energy. And after that, we test it. Does it work? So we see that now you've gone from an imagination type of programming, if you will, to something that becomes practical. So I hope that answered your question.
Oh, yes. And I love how you, yes, I love how you mentioned imagination as well too. So well done. My final question is: we're going to take a walk. We're going to go to Baltimore, the Inner Harbor, to a coffee shop, and talk to 21-year-old Joanna. Give her advice based on what you know now. What advice would you give your younger self?
I would definitely tell my younger self, not to be as bashful. It's funny because I think a lot of people view me as this very confident person. But I think that if I knew what I know now, everybody's steps are ordered accordingly. So I'm not trying to fast forward things. I don't know if I'd have met Nathan 21 years ago, or when I was 21, but I would definitely say be empowered to create early. And that's why this is so dear to my heart, because I do believe that when you are empowered to create early, you are also in a space where now you have transcended the spaces of generational wealth and understanding of how you can take yourself and your ideas and all of that to the next level. And also it allows you to impact the community a little bit faster. And so I would say for me, just not to be afraid to kind of do that at a faster rate. So I know you didn't ask me this, but I do love roller skating. I started roller skating when I was really young, actually. See, once again, when I was really young, I'd say about 7 or 8. Never really thought anything of it. And when I was 21, I remember I went roller skating again. And I really enjoyed it. And then I hit like 25, and then I really got serious on it. And I'm talking about that experience because now I see the physics application to that, and how my students now will be able to create their own skates, build it, recognize centripetal force, what it looks like for things to go around. Why does this happen if it's on this angle? And so we start to recognize that we can incorporate things that are fun and exciting. Everything doesn't have to be math and be like, this is so hard, right? It doesn't have to be music and, this is so challenging. But it can be something that we incorporate into our daily lives, into our younger lives, that can also kind of be fast forward into the future and create an application that works and really starts to create a different type of thought process within our community, and the mindset of different individuals, so that they can now be more innovative. Because once you start younger, then you can also just start to compound interest, right? Compound on that idea, and it can just only get better from there. So I think that those are some of the things I would tell my 21-year-old self, just to push forward on your ideas, creativity, and to do it from an early age.
Wonderful. With that, I'm going to pass it over to Melissa and allow Melissa to continue.
Absolutely. Joanna, before we ask you to play a song to close out the show, I want to encourage you to share. If people want their children to sign up for your school, learn more about you, where should they go?
Sure. So you can go to Daily, DALEY, Smith, Inc.com. That link is ready. It is able. It's working. You can go on and sign up for classes. Classes start in January 2020. So spots are filling up quickly. Feel free to get your spot. And we can go from there. The STEM school is also on its way. That's going to launch in June of 2021. You can also go on the website and see that information there. There's also a nonprofit entitled God's Business that will also be a part of this entity. And so if you would like more information, go ahead and check out dailysmithinc.com.
All right, you see it there on the screen. So thank you so much. Save 2 spots for my boys to be signing up for your classes in January. So while you make your way back to the piano, I want to make sure that we acknowledge our sponsors. This show would not be possible without the generosity of our videography sponsor, as well as our studio sponsor. So thank you so much to Nathan and also Art Jones. The filming in that beautiful space was done at the Old American Can Factory in Brooklyn, provided by LMS Realty Associates LLC and XO Projects Inc., in which Nathan is the curator and director of. And then the filming, the beautiful videography you saw, the filming and the tech, was provided by Great Jones Productions, also in Brooklyn, New York. We are so grateful for Art Jones stepping in, as well as Benjamin Wolf for operating the camera. So thank you so much for your help making this episode even better. We appreciate your generosity. And with that, Joanna, why don't you take us home?